excuse me. Are you reading Yes, I Can?
Yeah. Have you read it?
Yeah, by Sammy Davis Jr.?
Yeah.
You know what the title of that book should be? Yes, I Can, if Frank Sinatra says it's okay. Because Frank calls the shots for all those guys. Did you get to the part yet where Sammy's coming out of the Copa, and it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, and he sees Frank. Frank's walking down Broadway by himself. Fucking limeys.
Well, you know, they're not used to that world. Frank Sinatra, it's a different world that they're in.
You know, it's just people like this, they get all they want, so they don't really understand, about a life like Frank's. I mean, when you've loved and lost the way Frank has, then you know what life's about.
The Times may even do something.
Really? New York Times.
The New York Times. Yeah.
Well, that's minor bump we've got to iron out here is when do we get the album released? I mean, it doesn't matter how good the press is and what the stringers.
Well, as I explained last night, we're not going to saturate the New York market. Now, Philly that's a real rock and roll town.
Oh, Philly's a great town.
I've been assured that the album will be available all through the Philadelphia metropolitan area.
So you are hitting that market,
we're certainly
New York.
I'm doing everything I can.
That's right. We're not blaming
I'm writing
you,
the
but you know that we're not blaming you.
But you don't feel that these guys have an effect on an audience? I mean, the kids go to their concert, they have a great time.
But it's a passing thing. It's I would never tell them this, but this is a fad.
Talk about your reviews a little bit regarding Intravenous de Milo. This tasteless cover is a good indication of the lack of musical invention within. The musical growth rate of this band cannot even be charted. They are treading water in a sea of retarded sexuality and bad poetry.
Well, that's nitpicking, isn't it?
The Gospel According to Spinal Tap. This pretentious, ponderous collection of religious rock psalms is enough to prompt the question, what day did the Lord create Spinal Tap, and couldn't he have rested on that day too?
Never heard that one.
No,
good one. That's a good one.
The review you had on Shark Sandwich, which was merely a 2-word review, just said, shit sandwich.
Where'd they print that?
Where'd they print that? That's not real, is it?
You can't print that. All those arguments about touring and not touring and all that, I mean, it's obvious we belong on tour, it's a great idea.
I mean, all that stuff about you being too old and you being too white.
Yeah, but what about the album, Ian?
Well, that's the real problem. There's no way to promote something that doesn't exist, There's got to be a reason behind it.
It's a very unimportant reason. It's just that they're just experimenting with some new packaging materials, right? Let me get the door.
Okay. Monkeys opening it or what?
Oh, there's the other thing is that the Boston gig has been cancelled.
What?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it though. It's not a big college town.
The label?
I ain't heard you boys. You got an album coming out right now?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's Smell the Glove. It should be out now. It's,
Smell the Glove?
Smell the Glove, yeah.
Sounds like a provocative title. I love it.
Well, wait till you see the cover. Wait till you see the cover. Very provocative indeed.
Bobby, tear you away from all this?
So, do you have a drink? Everything
No, I don't.
okay?
I don't really need one. But listen, I really do have to talk to you a bit about this.
Ian,
This whole
just tell
issue
me
of
whatever's on your mind.
the issue of the cover.
Yeah.
We feel, and it seems to be facts, that the company is rather down on the cover. Is that the case?
Yes.
You can give it to me straight, you know.
Listen, they don't like the cover. They don't like
Well,
the
that's
cover.
certainly straight.
They find it very offensive and very sexist.
Well,
And
what exactly do you find offensive?
Ian,
what's
you
offensive about
put a greased, naked woman
Yes.
on all fours
Yes.
with a dog collar
With a dog
around her
collar.
neck and a leash.
And a leash.
And a man's arm extended out up to here, holding on to the leash and pushing a black glove in her face to sniff it. You don't find that offensive?
No,
You don't
don't.
find that sexist?
This is 1982,
That's
Bobby.
right,
Come
it's
on.
1982. Get out of the 60s. We don't have this mentality anymore.
Well, you should have
Listen
seen
to
the
me.
cover they wanted to do.
I don't
It
care
wasn't
what
a
they
glove,
want.
believe me.
See, now this is something, Ian, that you're going to have to talk to your boys about.
We're certainly not laying
And I
down
don't think
any
that a
conditions.
sexy cover is the answer for why an album sells or doesn't sell. Because you tell me, the White Album, what was that? There was nothing on that goddamn cover. Excuse me, the phone's
Sure.
ringing. Ian, we'll talk about this
Okay,
after.
bye.
Hello? Oh, hi, Dennis. Uh-oh. Okay. Why don't you tell him? Okay, hold on 1 minute. Ian! It's Eaton Hogg. He wants to talk to you.
Okay, thank you, Don.
You're welcome. Dear.
Hello, Sir Dennis. Hi, how are you? Oh. Fucking hell, puffed up. But it's really not that offensive, Sir Dennis. Come on. Okay, I'll call you absolutely first thing in the morning. Ah, shit. They're not going to release the album because they have decided that the cover is sexist.
Well, so what? But what's wrong with being sexy? I mean, there's no...
Sexist.
Okay, listen,
think it
I
was
wanted to
sexy.
tell you this, and I was holding back because I didn't know what Dennis's decision was going to be. But at this point, both Sears and Kmart stores have refused to handle the album.
That
They're
old one, huh?
boycotting the album only because of the cover. The
If a
first
company
album
is
had
behind
been
an
a
album,
hit.
it can shove it right down their throats.
Money talks and bullshit walks. And if the first album was a hit, then we could have pressed on them. Then we could have told them, yes.
The music,
let's-
every cut
I don't
on
give
this
a shit
album
what
is
the
a hit.
album
It's not a
says.
matter of compromise. It was We a made joke, and a everyone's long time ago. making That's it like a big That's deal. true. You know, if we were serious and we said, yes, she should be forced to smell the glove, then you'd have a point, you know. But it's all a joke, isn't it? I mean, we're making
Well,
fun.
it isn't. It
We're
isn't.
making
She should
fun
be
of that
made
sort
to
of
smell
thing,
it,
you
but
know.
not-
you know, over and over
Listen,
again.
the
of
thing
course.
is, we can probably work something out. I'll talk to Dennis, and maybe we can come up with a compromise and a new design concept that we can all live with.